she has 3 days from the time that she first requests the abortion. So she is on her website, says that on July 7th, she'll be going into the clinic and will have the abortion on July 10th if the money is not raised.
And lots of states have those waiting periods because psychologically they're trying to say to women, if you take some time and think about it, maybe you'll change your mind.
You don't think they should think seriously about it?
I think women should, but we're intelligent people. We know if we want to have an abortion or not. We don't need you, a doctor, telling us we need to wait a day or 2 days or even 3 days.
Ariba, there's a lot of intelligent women who feel pressured, who feel like they can't support this child, who society is telling them, big abortion providers like Planned Parenthood are telling them, just get on with your life, have the abortion, then you can get on with your life, finish your education, finish your job, keep your relationship. Women feel pressured today.
And there are lots of educated women who are making choices. There are lots of educated, smart women who are making the choice to have an abortion. It's our reproductive health. We are in charge of it, and we should be making the decisions, plain and simple.
Spirit, you've got 97 kids. How do you feel about this?
Exactly. And at some point I will have more, and I promise not to get on crowdsourcing and ask for $1 million.
Thank you.
Thank you, Spirit.
So we also have to talk about the fact that there are so many women who, after making this choice, never recover from this decision. And Drew, I know. That you have dealt with women 10 years, 50 years down the line, they still talk about it as the regret that they did this so many years ago, and they wish that they had made a different decision.
Spirit, it's a very unpopular thing, and I know you're going to quote objective resources, objective studies that say this doesn't happen, there's no post-abortion regret or mood disturbance, but Spirit, I've seen it like you many times.
We talk to them on Loveline all the time.
Yeah, but let's prepare for it is my thing. It's like, I'm not getting in the way of it. I'm just saying, let's prepare for a reality. Anahit, you've been awfully quiet here. What's going on?
No, I mean, I don't have a problem with the waiting period.
You have no horse in this race?
I have no horse in this race. I don't have a problem with the waiting period. In fact, I think that's good, and I'm definitely pro-choice. But I think if the point of all of this is to just say, you know what, the pro-lifers don't care about lives, that's not what it's about. She's doing a disservice to people that actually believe in that cause, because this just makes her look bad, and it makes all of them look bad.
But philosophically, Lila, what's at the core here is, what are the limits of any of our responsibilities for another life? Not for getting in the way of somebody's life being lost, but for sustaining a life. What are the limits of that responsibility, right? Isn't that really what's at issue here, philosophically?
Yeah. President Obama has an initiative, my sister's keeper, my brother's keeper. We care about health care for millions of Americans because we care about our neighbor.
But Lila, there's 600,000.
Why don't we care about the child in the womb?
Well, then what are you going to do with this? Because I want to understand.
Care about them as much as we care about.
I want to understand the limits.
In fact, more.
Lila, there's 600,000 frozen embryos out there.
We should care about them.
What are you going to do with 600,000 people?
Well, we should first put limits on people who are creating those lives, leaving those lives in freezers, saying that they're going to just abandon those lives and create 20 of them and then pick the perfect life or try to implant dozens. I mean, that's a whole other issue that we should be discussing.
It's a pragmatic issue.
Because there's no regulation on regulations on IVF.
I want to hear from the Constitution. Please straighten us out.
Something called privacy rights, something called our rights to make choices. And I'm disturbed, Dr. Drew, that you're saying that
I'm not saying anything.
there are these issues that women have after they make a decision.
I'm raising questions.
What about the women who decide to give birth and all the psychological issues that come with that when they're not financially prepared, emotionally prepared, women who put their kids up for adoption, and all of those psychological issues. So if we're going to talk about the abortion issues, we've got to be fair and talk about the
Agreed, but let's not pretend none of those things wait, Mike.
They happen across the board.
Yes, you are 100% right, but let's not pretend it's all rosy one way and no problem the other. Let's talk about the reality is all I'm interested in.
If we trace it all back, whether you're pro-life or pro-choice, whether you believe in this waiting period or not, the reality is, in this country especially, is that more people are having babies and getting people pregnant that totally should not be doing that. And I'm the most wildly irresponsible person sexually, maybe in a 10-mile radius. And that's saying a lot because we're in West Hollywood. And I somehow figured out a way to always wear a condom. And I don't understand how this is such a problem for people to not get through their skull that making babies is a serious deal.
Yeah.
Whether or not, however you deal with it.
You mentioned making babies is a serious deal. Ariba, you mentioned privacy rights for women. I'm all about, as a woman, privacy rights. But my rights end where another person's rights begin. And that child, they have privacy rights. That child has a right to life. Basic fundamental human rights. And this website that a woman's putting up about killing a child within 72 hours, that disturbs us because we know it's a child.
That's not true, because you have determined that
a fetus is a child,
where the Supreme Court has determined that that fetus is not a child.
The Supreme Court never determined that.
The fetus that you keep calling a child at 4 weeks, at 6 weeks, does not have the same rights as the 5-year-old child. And it's not fair to conflate those two issues,
The Supreme Court in Roe v. Wade actually said that this whole case would break down if it could be determined that life does begin in the first trimester. And that was before the rise of ultrasound, before a lot of the things we've learned in the last 40+ years. So I think we need to catch up. We need to catch up to science, what science teaches us about life in the womb.
Well, and science shouldn't determine when life begins. I think that's kind of a spurious.
Does.
Well, but it's a little bit spurious. I think their philosophy may help us. Listen, we are.
In first trimester, if you took that fetus out of a body, is it okay?
No, but the point is, should life be determined on the basis of what our ventilator science is able to provide for a fetus? That's what's at issue, and that's why I discomfort with science defining life. But we are not going to solve this problem today.